Talking about well. Money ain't a thing. Money ain't a thing.
Money in the bank. Money in the bank.
We can talk, but money talk, so talk more.
Ash cash show, ash cash show. The ash cash show, ash cash show. The ash cash show, ash cash show. The ash cash show, show, ash cash show, ash cash show. The ash cash show, ash cash show. The ash cash show, ash cash show.
Baby, I got your money.
You're now tuned in to the financial motivator himself, Ash Cash, Mr. Mind Right, Money Right. Money right, money right.
So welcome to the Ash Cash Show every Monday through Friday, 9 a.m. to 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Tell a friend to tell a friend. Make sure you go to the ashcashshow.com, subscribe to the podcast, go to ashcashtv.com, subscribe to the YouTube channel. We are in the building. So today we're talking about finding your calling. Find your calling, right? And so find your calling. Everyone out here was made for something special. Your only job is to be still, to find the answers that come to you. Live out what you were called to do. No one else can do it like you. You were created to be uniquely you, so embrace it. Don't be afraid to take risks and live out your passions. You have the courage to do it, and the world needs you to show up and make a difference, right? So I want to talk about calling for a second, right? Because a lot of times, I mean, we talked about this yesterday, right? Right. We talked about this yesterday. We talked about God is always answering, right? God is always answering. Are you receiving? Are you listening? And are you, what was the last one? It was receiving, listening. I forget what was the A? Answering, right? Was it answering? Yeah, available. That's what it was. It was available, right? It was available. If y'all paid attention yesterday, right? God is always answering, or God is always answering, but are you receiving? Are you listening? Miss Edith, what up? Are you receiving? Are you, man, I'm messing up. Give me the three again. I just said it, but what's the three again? Are you receiving? Are you listening? Are you receiving? Are you listening? Are you receiving? Are you listening? Are you available? Right? Are you receiving? Are you listening? And are you available? Right? And so a lot of times when we're talking about our calling, right? When we're talking about, hey, I'm trying to find my calling. Hey, I'm trying to find my purpose. What am I here to do? The issue isn't that you don't know what to do, right? The thing is that you're not receiving, right? You're not receiving what you're being told to do, right? You're not listening, right? You're not listening. And a lot of times not listening has a lot to do with distractions, right? A lot of times us not listening has a lot to do with distractions, right? We're so distracted, right? We're so distracted that as we're distracted, we can't hear what we're supposed to be doing, right? And I'm gonna start off here because I feel like a lot of people, right? A lot of people are distracted by their job, right? And your job don't have to be whether you work a 9 to 5, whether you're an entrepreneur. A lot of times we're distracted by what we're doing for work, right? Like we're doing something for work instead of being something, right? Instead of working in our being, we listen to the world, and the world tells us that we should be doing. And because the world tells us that we should be doing, we are doing instead of being, and what we're doing for work is what's defining us, when the truth of the matter is that who you're being is what should be defining you, right? And so let's let Marianne Williamson talk to you, because this is a new year, right? And if anybody understands numerology, we're in a 7-year, right? And the 7-year is all of, 2 + 2 + 3, right? 2023 is a 7-year, so we're in a 7-year, and so the 7 represents spirituality, right? And when and your spirituality, right? Because we're all spiritual beings having a human experience, right? We are spiritual beings having a human experience, right? Spiritual beings having a human experience. And so as we have this human experience, right? As we're having this human experience, we have to tap in this year. We're going to have to tap in, right? We're going to have to tap in with our spiritual nature. And our spiritual nature is going to force us, right? Our spiritual nature is going to force us to really be who we are, right? It's going to force us to be who we are. And so a lot of us are going to lose our jobs, right? A lot of us are going to lose our jobs. And what that means is a lot of us are going to be confronted with what are you doing versus who are you being, right? A lot of us are going to lose our jobs, as we should, though, right? As we should lose our job, because a lot of us are being attached so much to what we do, and we're not really focused on our being.
You about to lose your job.
Yep.
You about to lose your job. Get this dance. You about to lose your job
Because you are detaining me for nothing.
One of the most positive transitions you can make is from viewing your work as a job to viewing it as a calling. A job is an exchange of energy in which you do a material task and someone provides money in exchange. A calling, however, is an organic field of energy that emerges from the deepest aspects of who you are. It is the fulfillment of what God has created you to be and do. Approaching your work as a job versus approaching it as a calling makes all the difference in whether or not you dwell in the miraculous universe. You have a calling simply because you are alive. You have a calling because you are a child of God. You have a calling because you are on this earth with a divine purpose, to rise to the level of your highest creative possibility, expressing all that you are intellectually, emotionally, psychologically, and physically in order to make the universe a more beautiful place. As you do this, your entire life becomes your ministry, a way to serve God and to serve the world.
That was salute.
If you're thinking of money only as something you get in exchange for doing a job, then you'll never be free of limited thought forms surrounding money. We are heir to the laws that rule the world we identify with. If you identify only with the material plane, you place yourself at the effect of pretty severe economic realities of scarcity and lack. If you identify with the spiritual plane, you are under no laws but God's. I'm looking for a job. I'm trying to figure out what I should do, and I don't know how I'm going to make ends meet, are sentences that confuse the universe. A child of God doesn't have to look for a job. A child of God doesn't have to figure out what to do. A child of God doesn't have to worry about how ends will meet. A child of God is simply a magnet for all things good. The you who thinks of life as a struggle or a place where you're on your own is not the real you. The real you already has a God-given function, and the universe is set up to support it. The best way to summon your true calling is to put yourself in service to God. The following daily prayer is from A Course in Miracles. Where would you have me go? What would you have me do? What would you have me say? And to whom? While a job is separate from the rest of our lives, a calling is a fulfillment of the rest of our lives. By striving to be the best we can be, we create the internal blueprint by which we do the best we can do. On a soul level, we want to work. We want to create. We want to be productive and serve others and share our gifts with the world. Often, it is not external forms of obstruction that hold us back, but rather internal ones. And nothing releases us internally more than the desire and the willingness to serve. The world can give you a job, but a job can be taken away. But a true calling puts you in a career zone that cannot be taken away.
Yep.
It reflects your willingness to do what you feel inwardly led to do in order to help heal the world.
Wait, hold on. Let me explain that, right? Because I need y'all to understand is that the way you know whether you're living out your calling or if you're simply just doing or you simply just have a job is does somebody have the power to take away who you are being, right? Like, does somebody have the power to take away what you're being? If the answer is yes, you just have a job, right? If the answer is yes, you just have a job. But if like for me, with my calling, regardless of the economy, right? Regardless of the economy, it doesn't matter what the economy is doing. During a good economy, during a bad economy, during a mediocre economy, my calling is still my calling, right? Whether I work 9 to 5, as an entrepreneur, if I'm volunteering time, my calling's my calling, right? Everywhere I walk, every time I walk in a building, you feel my calling. Every time I walk in a building, you feel my calling, right? And so that's what you have to ask yourself when we're asking, I don't know my purpose. I don't know my calling. Well, who are you being? Right? Who are you being? And like, as long as I have breath in my body, like there's no position, there's no amount of nothing that's making me who I am. Right? God has made me who I am. Look, 111 on 111. We had that's like a spiritual number for. We had 111 people on live, and today is January 11th. So I just kind of saw the numbers. Right? Queen said it's easier said than done. That's one of those sayings that grind my gears. Like, that's one of those. Marv, what up? Marvin Mitchell is in the building. My brother's in the building. That's one of those sayings that grinds my gears. It's easier said than done. Everything is easier said than done. Right? Everything is easier said than done. But are you willing? Are you willing to be? Don't miss that. Everything is easier said than done, but nobody's asking you to do. Are you right? Everything is easier said than done, but are you being? Right? Are you being? Because the last time I checked, it's be do have. Right? A lot of us are skipping the being. Right? A lot of us are skipping the being. A lot of us are trying to do first. Most of us are skipping the being. Because the truth of the matter is that you actually don't have to try hard to be. Uh-oh. Don't miss that. Don't miss that. Don't miss that. You don't have to try to be. What Kanye said, when you try hard, that's when you die hard. You don't have to try to be. You don't have to try to be. You are. I am. Right? You are already. How you gonna try to be something that you are? Don't make y'all. I don't know if y'all catching that. How you trying to be what you are? How are you trying to be what you are, y'all?
The universe then registers your true substance, your true seriousness, and your true purpose. Some things you do will bring forth worldly wealth. Other things you do will not directly bring forth wealth at all, but being the right things to do will summon wealth miraculously from other sources. Losing a job does not mean you lose your calling, because as a personal ambassador of God, you have been given a permanent assignment. You are here to represent Him who sent you, and He does not change His mind about you. You are never unemployed by God.
You never unemployed.
Not just about you.
Wait, you never unemployed by God, y'all. You never unemployed. You are never unemployed by God because God sent. Look, God sent you here in your being. God sent you here to be. And so, as long as you have breath in your body, you always got a job. You always got a purpose. You are never unemployed by God, man.
It's true about all of us. Anything that appears to separate us from each other.
Wait, hold on.
Liquid means rewind.
I'm sorry, y'all.
Gunshot means forward. You requested it, so we rewind.
I'm gonna let this play. Yo, I'm gonna let this play without me talking.
Liquid means rewind. Gunshot means liquid means rewind. Liquid means rewind. Liquid means rewind. Liquid means rewind. Gunshot means forward. You requested it, so we rewind. Reggae and motivation combined. That's inspiration for another.
I'm gonna let this rock without me talking. I'm sorry, y'all.
Mind Right Radio. Elevate your mind. You elevate your life.
You about to lose your job. You about to lose your job. Get this dance. You about to lose your job because you are detaining me or nothing.
Oh, man.
One of the most positive transitions you can make is from viewing your work as a job to viewing it as a calling. A job is an exchange of energy in which you do a material task and someone provides money in exchange. A calling, however, is an organic field of energy that emerges from the deepest aspects of who you are. It is the fulfillment of what God has created you to be and do. Approaching your work as a job versus approaching it as a calling makes all the difference in whether or not you dwell in the miraculous universe. You have a calling simply because you are alive. You have a calling because you are a child of God. You have a calling because you are on this earth with a divine purpose, to rise to the level of your highest creative possibility, expressing all that you are intellectually, emotionally, psychologically, and physically in order to make the universe a more beautiful place. As you do this, your entire life becomes your ministry, a way to serve God and to serve the world. If you're thinking of money only as something you get in exchange for doing a job, then you'll never be free of limited thought forms surrounding money. We are heir to the laws that rule the world we identify with. If you identify only with the material plane, you place yourself at the effect of pretty severe economic realities of scarcity and lack. If you identify with the spiritual plane, you are under no laws but God's. I'm looking for a job. I'm trying to figure out what I should do, and I don't know how I'm going to make ends meet, are sentences that confuse the universe. A child of God doesn't have to look for a job. A child of God doesn't have to figure out what to do. A child of God doesn't have to worry about how ends will meet. A child of God is simply a magnet for all things good. The you who thinks of life as a struggle or a place where you're on your own is not the real you. The real you already has a God-given function, and the universe is set up to support it. The best way to summon your true calling is to put yourself in service to God. The following daily prayer is from A Course in Miracles. Where would you have me go? What would you have me do? What would you have me say? And to whom? While a job is separate from the rest of our lives, a calling is a fulfillment of the rest of our lives. By striving to be the best we can be, we create the internal blueprint by which we do the best we can do. On a soul level, we want to work. We want to create. We want to be productive and serve others and share our gifts with the world. Often, it is not external forms of obstruction that hold us back, but rather internal ones. And nothing releases us internally more than the desire and the willingness to serve. The world can give you a job, but a job can be taken away.
Job can be taken
But
away.
a true calling puts you in a career zone that cannot be taken away. It reflects your willingness to do what you feel inwardly led to do in order to help heal the world. The universe then registers your true substance, your true seriousness, and your true purpose. Some things you do will bring forth worldly wealth. Other things you do will not directly bring forth wealth at all, but being the right things to do will summon wealth miraculously from other sources. Losing a job does not mean you lose your calling, because as a personal ambassador of God, you have been given a permanent assignment. You are here to represent Him who sent you, and He does not change His mind about you. You are never unemployed by God. And that's true not just about you, it's true about all of us. Anything that appears to separate us from each other is not the deepest level of our identity. We all have different jobs, but the same ministry. Some of us are technicians. Some of us are mathematicians. Some of us are writers and artists. Some of us are salespeople. Some of us don't even work as work is defined by the world. But our value individually is determined not by what we do, but by the consciousness with which we do it. We are all here to be available channels for the love that heals all things. A job takes a form, but our ministry is content. Even if you lose your job, you still have your ministry.
Still got your
because it is
ministry.
part of who you are. Your life has no less value if you're not employed as the world defines it. If you are kind to people, if you're compassionate, if you pour your excellence into whatever you're doing, then you're doing the job God sent you to do. From that will emerge the next form that's needed to host the energies you're bringing forth.
You are now tuned in to Mind Right Radio. Elevate your mind. You elevate your life.
Right? And so understand this. Right? Understand this. Understand that you have to focus on your calling. What are you being called to be? Who are you being called to be? Because here's the truth. Here's the truth. There's no substitute for your purpose. Mind Right Radio. Y'all could go to abundancecommunity.org. If y'all want access to these tracks, go to abundancecommunity.org. The original is from A Return to Love by Marianne Williamson. But if you want the one that I got with the beat and all that you gotta go to Mind Right Radio, which comes with Abundance Community, where you can download it, right? And so here's the deal. Is that there's no substitute for your purpose. There's no substitute for your calling. Right? Yo, what up, Ty? Ty says, yo, how do you find your calling? How do you find your calling?
You are now tapped in.
How do you find your calling?
MindRightRadio.com.
I think Dr. Miles can help.
Elevation on another level. Mind Right
I think Dr. Miles can help because there's no substitute. Listen.
There's no substitute for purpose.
There's no substitute for purpose.
What I'm saying is so important. This is more important than anything that you can hear right now.
It's more important than anything that you can hear right now.
Because there's so many people who are lost, frustrated, and saved. There is no substitute for purpose. I was thinking of an example, and there's so many of them. Have you ever seen a manufacturer who began to build something, and because it didn't become what he intended, he made something else? You don't see that. They don't stop until they get what they purposed. There's no substitute for purpose. There's no substitute for purpose. You cannot make a car a boat. You cannot make a car a boat. You can't decide, I'm tired driving this car, I'm going to drive into the water now, make it a boat. You just can't do that. You can't substitute the purpose for the product. You cannot make a microphone a cooking spoon. I mean, you could, but it'd be microphone abuse. You may laugh, but it's true about your life. If you are becoming something, or can I say, trying to become something that you are not, you're abusing who you are.
Yo, hold on. If you're trying to be something that you're not, hold on. I'm sorry, y'all.
Liquid means rewind. Gunshot means forward. You requested it, so we rewind. Liquid means rewind. Gunshot means forward.
Yo,
you requested it, so we rewind.
Look. If you're trying to be something that you're not, you are abusing who you are. Don't miss that, y'all. Don't miss that. A lot of us are abusing who we are. A lot. Look, the fact that you're not allowing yourself to be, you're abusing who you are. You are abusing it.
There's no substitute for purpose. What I'm saying is so important. This is more important than anything that you can hear right now. Because there's so many people who are lost, frustrated, and saved. There is no substitute for purpose. I was thinking of an example, and there's so many of them. Have you ever seen a manufacturer who began to build something, and because it didn't become what he intended, he made something else? You don't see that. They don't stop until they get what they purposed. There's no substitute for purpose.
There's no substitute for purpose.
There's no substitute for purpose. You cannot make a car a boat.
You cannot make a car a boat.
You can't decide, I'm tired driving this car, I'm going to drive into the water now, make it a boat. You just can't do that. You can't substitute the purpose for the product. You cannot make a microphone a cooking spoon. I mean, you could, but it'd be microphone abuse. You may laugh, but it's true about your life. If you are becoming something, or can I say, trying to become something that you are not, you're abusing who you are. There's no substitute for purpose. There is no satisfaction beside purpose. Purpose and only purpose will satisfy. Purpose, therefore, will haunt you. That's why God uses the word prevail. He said, no matter what you plan, Whether it's big, good, fantastic, evil, bad, or excellent. If it's not my purpose for your life, God says, my purpose will prevail over that plan.
My purpose will prevail over your plan.
It will haunt.
It will haunt you.
If you did everything everybody wanted you to do, but not what you were born to do, then what you were born to do will haunt what you did.
Don't miss that bar. If you did everything that everybody else wants you to do, but not what you're supposed to do, what you were born to do, what you did will haunt you. Right? I know I'm talking to one of y'all, right? That's the reason why to the outside world you're a success, but when you get back home, you don't feel fulfilled. Right? That's why to the outside world, there's somebody right now that the outside world is praising, but you're like, it's all right. Right? A lot of us are living up to everybody else's expectations except our own, except God, and God is within. Right? And so we're listening and we're being applauded and we're being told by the outside world who we should be, right? We're following it. We're thinking that we should feel fulfilled, but we don't feel fulfilled. We feel empty. We're still in search. We're still searching. We're like, yo, what's going on? Right? And that's because we're not being who we were meant to be.
You gotta understand God's word here. He says, my purpose will override.
My purpose will override and overrule.
No matter how good they are, no matter how big they are, purpose will frustrate your success.
Purpose will frustrate your success.
You know people, maybe you are one of them. You know everyone thinks you're doing well.
Sean, what up, Sean?
But when you close the door at night.
Salute, brother. It's a pleasure.
And cut the light off. It's hell in the bed.
It's hell in the bed.
You cry. You weep. You're mad because you don't feel fulfilled. And then when you go on stage, everybody claps.
Everybody claps.
But in secret, you are depressed. They think you are the best corporate executive in the whole company. But deep inside, you really want to go preach. Deep inside, you really want to go paint pictures. Deep inside, you want to do photography. You don't want to sit at no desk.
You don't want to sit at no desk.
Whatever your gift is, whatever your purpose is, it will make you frustrated. It will prevail over all of your success.
Yeah.
Why? Because purpose itself will overrule your accomplishments.
Purpose will overrule your accomplishments.
Purpose will overshadow all your work. Purpose will depress your impressions. You impress people, but you're depressed.
You impress people, but you're depressed.
Because deep inside, you're not doing what you were born to do. God says this purpose will make you sick. My purpose will haunt you. It will make you feel so frustrated that no matter how successful the world thinks you are, my deep calling purpose will make you sick. And some of you know what I'm talking about. Purpose will frustrate you. Nothing, but nothing can take the place of purpose. Purpose is the key and the measure of success. You're only successful if you did what you were born to do.
You're only successful if you did what you were supposed to do.
Everything else is failure.
Everything else is failure.
So you only measure your success by your assignment. If I told you to paint the wall over here and you paint that one, beautiful, perfect, excellent, you still failed. That's why it's possible to be good, but wrong. To be good.
Pastor Sid, what up?
To do a good thing, but not the right thing.
Do a good thing and not the right thing. Wait, hold on. Somebody need to hear this too. I'm sorry, y'all. Harlem Knight, what up? Look, somebody need to hear this. It's possible to do a good thing, but not the right thing. It's possible to do a good thing and not the right thing. Right? A lot of us, think about this, right? A lot of us are thinking, yo, I'm doing good, right? I'm doing good, but why don't I feel fulfilled? Right? I'm doing good. I'm doing good, but why don't I feel fulfilled? Because you're doing a good thing, but you're not doing the right thing. You're doing a good thing, but you're not doing the right thing. And you know what the right thing is? The right thing is your calling, is what you're being called to do. Like, it's calling you. You just are, but look, are you receiving? Are you listening? Are you available? Your purpose is called. You don't have to find it. Right? How do you find yourself? Look, the only reason you have to find something is because you lost it. But how do you lose yourself? Right? That's why knowledge of self is so important. That's why, think about it. Anybody who has ever been oppressed has been oppressed because they were stripped of their identity. Oppression starts, right? Oppression starts with the stripping of your identity. Once you understand knowledge of self, once you understand who you are, you can never lose yourself. You can never lose yourself. How? Right? Wherever you are, there you are. Hove. Right? Wherever you are, there you are. Wherever you are, there you are. So you don't have to look for your purpose. You don't have to find your calling. Right? All you have to do is recognize you. That's the problem. You look in the mirror, you can't recognize you because there's too much noise. There's too much noise, so you can't recognize you. But are you answering? Are you answering the call? Are you listening? Are you available? Are you available?
Purpose is the right thing.
Purpose is the right thing.
It's not just a good thing. Purpose is that which you were sent here to perform. Purpose is the end for which you began. Purpose is destination. Make a note of that. Purpose is destination. And destination is destiny.
Destination is destiny.
Purpose is your end that is set. And then God backs you up to begin it. Therefore, you began because there's something that's already finished. And you were supposed to start. Therefore, your birth was caused because of your destiny. Your existence became necessary because of your destiny. So you don't go to your destiny.
You don't go to your destiny.
Destiny is
pulling you. But are you receiving? Are you listening? Are you available?
There's something constantly pulling you back. No matter where you go in life, there's something that keeps on pulling you.
Something's pulling you.
Destiny screams at you.
Screaming at you.
Every moment of your day.
Every moment of your day.
It quietly screams. It's the loudest silence
It's the loudest silence
you can ever hear.
Hey, yo, hold on. It's the loudest silence you can ever hear. The business bully, what up? It's the loudest silence you can ever hear. Yo, don't miss that, yo. It's too many bars. Hey, yo, it's the loudest silence you could ever hear. You're running away from you. You're running away from your being. It is the loudest silence because it's pulling you. Right? It's pulling you. Your calling is pulling you. And you know what happens? A lot of us are so attached to money that we ignore our calling because we can't see how we can make money from it. And we don't even understand that as you follow your calling, that's where you don't have to see it. Right? Judge not by appearances. Judge not by appearances. You don't have to see it. You have to be obedient. You don't have to see it. Just be obedient. If you're being called, just are you receiving? Are you listening? Are you answering? Right? Are you available? Are you available?
It's the loudest silence you can ever hear. It's your destiny.
That's your destiny, y'all.
There's something, even while I'm talking, it's probably crying louder now because I'm talking about it. Yes, it's screaming. It's that thing that is already established by God.
Already established by
that
God.
you arrived to fulfill.
Yep.
And no matter where you go, it haunts you. It prevails. It overpowers. You try to drown it in busyness, but it's too strong. You try to bury it in your preoccupation, but it is your occupation. That's why until you find your destiny, all you have is a job.
All you have is a job.
Your destiny is not a job.
Your destiny is not a job.
Your destiny is your work.
Your destiny is your work.
Your job is what you do until you find your destiny. There's no substitute for purpose.
There's no substitute for purpose.
What I'm saying is so important. This is more important than anything that you can hear right now. There's no substitute for purpose. What I'm saying is so important. This is more important than anything that you can hear right now. Purpose will frustrate you. Nothing, but nothing can take the place of purpose.
Nothing can take the place of purpose.
The key and the measure of success. You're only successful if you did what you were born to do.
You're only successful.
You did what you were born to do. Everything else is failure. Everything else is failure.
Everything else is failure.
There's
Demetria, what up?
Substitute for purpose. There's no substitute for purpose. What I'm saying is so important.
No substitute.
This is more important than anything that you can hear right now.
Right now you're tapped in and tuned in. MindRightRadio.com. MindRightRadio.com. Tapped in and tuned in. Elevation on another level. MindRightRadio.com.
All right, listen, last but not least, yo. What time is it? Do I got time? Let me look at my schedule real quick. Let me see. We might have to go over because I still see the same questions in the chat. I'm still seeing the same questions. And y'all making it more complicated than it really is. Hold on, let me see. Let me look at my schedule real quick. So I gotta leave out of here. Let me see. I got 11 o'clock. Let's see. Hold on. Let's see how long it's gonna take me to get there. Hold on. Let's see if I can spare it. If I can spare some time. I'm cutting it close. I might have to leave, but hold on, because I keep seeing the same questions. And the answer is simple.
I want to be a cooperative component. I want to be a vibrational match to all that I've been asking for. I want to be a cooperative component. I want to be a vibrational match.
Hold on. I keep hearing everybody keep asking how, right? I keep hearing people say, yo, how do I find my purpose? How do I find my calling? You don't find it. It's there already. You got it already. You asking the wrong questions. You're asking the wrong question. It's you don't find it. You have it already. You gotta receive it. You gotta listen. You gotta be available. It's there already, right? I saw somebody say fasting. Yes, fast. Stop putting junk in our body, right? Heal your body. Stop watching television, right? But hold on, because I gotta go. Just be.
I want to be a cooperative component. I want to be a vibrational match to all that I've been asking for. I want to be a cooperative component. I want to be a vibrational match to the source within me, to the culmination of all that I've become. I want to fulfill my reason for being here. I want to have step 1 moments. I want to acknowledge that source is having step 2 moments. I want to be aware of the difference between a step 1 and a step 3 vibration. I want to acknowledge that it's all right for me to have step 1 moments. I want to know that it's okay to be out of the vortex. I want to make peace with where I am. I want to look for the positive aspects wherever I am. I want to make lists of things that feel better than other things. I want to make lists of things that feel good until I've increasingly improved lists. I want to activate within myself thoughts about things that feel good. I want the dominant thoughts that I think to be inside the vortex kind of thoughts. I want the majority of the beliefs that I hold to match the beliefs that source holds. I want to relieve myself of the flawed premises that I picked up along the physical trail. I want to let all other people live as they want to live. I no longer want to use anyone or anything as my excuse to be outside the vortex. I'm an in the vortex person. I'm someone who wants to be in the vortex, but I'm still physically focused, and while my source is always in the vortex, I'm willing to come out and play and put more good stuff in. But now I understand the relationship. I understand what emotions are. I understand the vibrational frequencies between who I am and who I'm being. I love the emotional guidance system that is within me. I love feeling my way into the vortex. I love knowing the well-being of the vortex. I love knowing that all truly is well with me. I love feeling the worthiness of my beingness and the prosperity of my being and the vitality of my being and the clarity of my being and the knowing of my being. I love being. Don't you now know more about the vortex than you've ever known? Don't you understand your relationship with it? Don't you know what your dominant priority is? Don't you understand your guidance system better? Don't you want to think the thoughts that feel better? Aren't you willing to be nicer to yourself when you're not in the vortex? Aren't you willing to let everybody else off the hook who hasn't been trying that hard to make you feel good? Aren't you ready to take responsibility for how you feel? Don't you sort of feel empowered to do it? Don't you love the feeling of being out of the vortex and then consciously, deliberately focusing yourself in? Don't you love coming into your own power? Don't you really like knowing that the universe has your back, that everything that you want is all queued up for you and it's just a matter of focusing yourself into it? Don't you now, from inside the vortex, appreciate more of those outside the vortex contrasting experiences that have caused you to expand? Don't you like knowing that you will constantly expand? Don't you like knowing that it's going to be a constant tuning up? Don't you like that it's going to be a constant tuning up? Don't you like that it's going to be a constant tuning up? Well, that's the part you don't like so much, because you keep thinking you want to get in the vortex and get it done and live happily ever after. And we want you to hear something that's hard to hear, but it is so, so true. And that is, it's getting into the vortex that is the rush of life. Just like when you're hungry and you eat something that tastes better than when you've been eating all day long. When you're out of the vortex and then you work your way in, that's that zest. That's that feeling. That's that feeling of motion forward, you see. You just don't want to make a career out of step 1. You want to make a career out of step 3, which is moving into the vortex. And each time you're in there, then you can look at those people who you felt were responsible for your not being in, and now they look beautiful to you because they gave you the reason to expand, and in your moving into your expansion, you are thrilled with everyone involved. So you have this person, and they just harass you into expansion. But then you can't get your eyes off of them because they're just so in your face and so inappropriate. So the very person that caused your expansion is now the person you're using not to take your expansion, and that's why you're extra mad at them. But when you're in the vortex, you'll be extra appreciative of their having prodded you into expansion, and you're using your guidance and wisdom to now take your expansion. There's still a little bit of, oh, Abraham, just get me in the vortex.
Well, what up?
Let me just get in the vortex. I'm tired of not being in the vortex. I just want to get in the vortex where good things can start happening to me. And we say, get in the vortex and good things will start happening.
I love being Mika. What up?
Law. Say with us, what I want is done on a vibrational level.
What I want is done on a vibrational level.
What I want is done on a vibrational level. What I want is done on a vibrational level.
Look, you are, right? So what you desire is already done on a vibrational level.
Ask for it, and it is done. It's done. It's done.
It's done.
It's done. That's why
it's done.
I feel good. I feel
good.
It's done. It's done. My lover is there. My money is there. My good feeling body is there. My recovery has taken place. My abundance is there. My clarity is there. My stability is there. My vitality is there. My flexibility is there.
It's there.
It's there.
It's there.
It's there.
It's
done.
there. It's done.
It's done. It's done.
It's done.
I like to think about it. I like to talk about it.
I like to talk about it because it's done. Abundance is done. It's there.
To make something happen.
Sheesh.
It's done. It's done.
It's done.
Don't do them to make them
Don't
happen.
do it to make it happen.
Don't do it even to get there. It's done.
It's
you
done.
Are in your physical
I need a hoodie right now.
In relationship to what's done.
Sheesh.
It's done. Do you realize?
Do you realize it?
Creating? Do you see your
Do you
vibrational
see it?
extra? We do.
Yes.
It's done and it's magnificent. Now talk about it because it feels.
Talk about it.
Because
It's
it
done.
Need more
it's
work.
done. It don't need no more work.
The clarity.
It don't need no work.
Happen. It's done.
It's done.
You don't need the conversation.
You don't need the conversation.
Need the processes to make it happen. It's done.
It's done.
Let's not get the job done. Let's
let the job be done.
Let's let it be done.
Let's let it be done.
The laws of the universe. Let's
let
it be done by the larger part of you.
Yep.
Let's let it be
Let's
done.
let it be done. It's done.
Let's let it be done because it's right that it be done.
Yep.
Let's let it be done
because it is
done. That's the thing that we so want you to hear. It is done.
It's done.
Only your awareness that you can't see the evidence of the.
It's just your awareness. You can't see the evidence. It's done.
Everything is unfolding.
Everything is unfolding.
Order. It's a matter of letting
it be.
Letting the goodness.
Let the goodness be.
That you've so set into
let it.
That you so even recently contributed to magnificently. Just let it be.
Just let it be.
Let the good times
let the
roll.
Good times roll.
Let the fun be. Let my attitude improve. Let the evidence be shown. Let the world understand. Let me know right now. Let it be. Let who I really am be present in this moment. Let my eagerness be. Let my passion be. Let my clarity be. Let my balance be. Let my metabolism be.
Let my metabolism
be. Let my well-being
Let my well-being
be.
Let my cells do what they do.
Let my nation be.
Right?
Let my government
be.
Let the healthcare system
Let the healthcare system
be. Let the ecology be. Let the economy be.
Let the economy
Let the good times roll. Let it be. Let the well-being be. Let the earth spin in its orbit in perfect proximity. Let it be. How involved in that are you? You're not involved in that. You
let it be.
You let that be.
Let that be.
And you can let everything be.
Let my clarity be.
Expectant of good things to be.
Yep.
We want you to leave here sure of these things.
Be sure.
You are more source energy than you are flesh, blood.
You are more source energy. You're connected to God.
Vibration
you are connected to the source.
And your emotions are your keenest way to identify that. Life is supposed to feel good to you. And when it doesn't, you're off track.
You're off track. Look.
You can't get it right.
Look. Life is supposed to feel good to you. And if it doesn't, you are off track.
Wrong, no matter what, because at its time of feeling most wrong, you're really poking around in a problem. And when you are at a time when you are really poking around in a problem, you're really giving birth to a solution.
Yep.
And we all really appreciate that. Because we exist, as you perceive us right here and now, as the solution side to the problem that you have posed. If your life had not prompted the culmination of your question, these answers could not be here in this vivid form. We were not standing here as the owner and holder or perceiver of all of this knowledge, just waiting for you to figure out the right question so that we could deliver it to you in the perfect timing. You created the answer when you posed the question.
This only T-Talks too.
Our satisfaction
Salute, relentless.
happened even while you were struggling with your question. Your satisfaction doesn't happen till you let go of the problem and accept the reality of the solution. There isn't anything that you're supposed to do. You didn't say, as you made the decision to come into this body, you didn't say, I'll find my life's purpose and I'll fulfill it. You didn't say, I'll go forth and find the things that need to be fixed or improved, and I'll work on fixing and improving them. Instead, you said, I cannot wait to sink my thinking teeth into the variety that will inspire expansion from me, because it's fun as it begins in the beginning and the middle and the ending. It's fun to explore contrast and variety, and it is oh so fun to give birth to a new idea that has not been before. And it is so much fun to recognize the vibrational variance between the new idea that I've given birth to and where my habit of thought usually is. And it's fun to be aware of this vibrational variance by the emotions that I feel, and it's fun to guide myself into alignment, and it's fun to feel the improvement in the manifestation of my life as I find more alignment. And oh, it is so satisfying to come into complete alignment with that new expansion that I just carved out. And oh, then by the way, it's fun to see the manifestation swoop in all around me, but it's then fun to find myself standing in a new place of diversity and contrast, giving birth immediately to another new desire. That's fun. And it's fun to realize that I'm not up to speed yet with that new idea, but it's fun to recognize that I have guidance within me that lets me know the direction of my expansion. Yep. And it's all fun when I turn in the direction of that. So satisfying to feel the call of source and to come into alignment with it. Oh, and so exhilarating to complete that vibrational alignment and to feel the resonance with the fullness of all that I've become. Oh, so satisfied. And then to get to watch the manifestation swoop in around as evidence of that alignment. So fun. And then to find myself standing in a new contrasting place. Because I cannot stand in any place for any period of time at all. It's all moving forward so rapidly, isn't it? So when you come, as so many of you have, to the awareness that it is the expansion that is exhilarating and the catching up with it that is exhilarating and the contrast that's exhilarating and the expansion that is exhilarating and the catching up with it that's exhilarating and the manifestation that is exhilarating. But it's a movement of energy that you are about. You are energy moving themes. You are creators. You are focusers. You are beers, not doers. You are beers, not havers. You are beers. You are emotional beings. And as you care how you be, as you care how you feel, then all of that having and doing will just show itself to you. But it will never, ever, ever be the main event. It will always be old news. It will always be old news, because the new news is the new idea, the new expansion, the new motion forward, the new coming into alignment, the new emotion, the new sensation, the new culmination, the new manifestation, the new contrast, the new idea, the new coming into alignment, the new emotion, motion, the new alignment, the new manifestation, the new contrast. In other words, it's just this cycle of never-ending, joyful life experience that we are all a part of.
All right, y'all. All right, y'all. Appreciate y'all. Had to give y'all extra 10 minutes. I got to go because I'm going to run late for one of my appointments. But I appreciate y'all. Make sure y'all go to abundancecommunity.org. Abundancecommunity.org, the number one community for, I'm calling it financial spirituality. That's what I'm calling it. The number one community for financial spirituality, abundancecommunity.org. We all deserve to be rich. The more money you make, the more good you can do, period. Right? Abundance, right? And abundance is not just money. Abundance in all your life. Abundancecommunity.org. Let me get out of here. I appreciate y'all. Thank y'all for tapping in. Make sure y'all go to the ashcastshow.com. Subscribe to the podcast. Go to ashcasttv.com. Subscribe to your YouTube channel. Go to abundancecommunity.org. Make sure y'all join the community. I'll see y'all tomorrow in God's will. Inshallah. Tomorrow in God's will. Same time, same place. Every Monday through Friday, 9 a.m. to 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Tell a friend and tell a friend, y'all. Peace.
I ain't talking about rich. I'm talking about wealth. Money ain't a thing. Money ain't a thing.
Money in the bank. Money in the bank.
We can talk, but money talk, so talk more.
Ash Cash Show, Ash Cash Show, the Ash.
I ain't talking about rich. I'm talking about wealth. Money ain't a thing. Money ain't a thing.
Money in the bank. Money in the bank.
We can talk, but money talk, so talk more.
Ash Cash Show, Ash Cash Show, the Ash Cash Show, Ash Cash Show, the Ash Cash Show, Ash Cash Show, the Ash Cash Show, Ash Cash Show, Ash Cash Show, the Ash Cash Show, Ash Cash Show, the Ash Cash Show, Ash Cash Show.
Baby, I got your money.
You are now tuned in to the Ash Cash Show, your number one source for financial motivation. Get your mind and your money right.